Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the great stories, and thank you for the invite, of course. It's great to see here in Germany all you people with all those inspiring stories, and so many of you. It's great. As said before, as Karin already mentioned, I have a company in Amsterdam. We're based in Amsterdam, and it's called Frank Lee. We are a creative company that make campaigns, and that are campaigns that are based on experience. We think that a good story inspires and motivates. It connects people. These stories should be experienced and not only be heard. In our digital world, we seek the real encounter. And when I say we, it is me, but it's also Eva. We work together quite a lot. And we do all sorts of interventions and campaigns. Here you can see the rain bar and another event that we are doing. It's on top of a rooftop in Amsterdam. It's called Roof. I have a short movie. Yeah. This is a rooftop in Amsterdam up upon a parking garage. It's 3,500 square meters. This was last summer. And what we did is we turned it into a park, just to show people that it doesn't have to be that much effort to use all those rooftops. In Amsterdam alone, we've got 25 Vondelparks of roofs, flat roofs, that is. Vondelpark is the biggest park that we have in Amsterdam. So we've got 25 Vondelparks of space on top of our roofs. We have to use that space. Amsterdam is a very, very dense city. We don't have that much space. So we have to use all those black, it's mostly bitumen. It gets super hot, of course, when it's summer. There's a lack of space in the city. We have to go up. We have to find that space on top of our rooftops. We think with events or interventions like this, we can make people understand that we have all that space on top of our city, which we hardly don't use. And of course, when it comes to biodiversity, this can also play a massive role. So that's why we host events. So we organize an event to get people up and enjoy the rooftops, and hopefully they become rooftop activists. At least that's the idea. This is a little bar. We made this little bar at one of our events on top of a rooftop. We put it there. It's a little bar where it rains inside. And where you drink, and you Germans must love this, where you drink beer made out of rainwater. The rainwater is collected on top of roofs. We brew beer out of that rainwater and we serve it in the bar where it rains inside. And of course, now it's a beer, you know, so we always try to find different ways of telling stories. So sometimes it might be an event, sometimes it might be a festival, it might be a bar, it might be beer, or even a championship, because that is what we are going to talk about later on. But this is the rain bar. And of course, it's about beer, but it's not only about beer, it's about the massive amounts of water that are coming upon our cities. More and more. It's more and more water in shorter periods of time. Amsterdam is an ancient city. We have a sewage channel that is very narrow. We can't handle all that water. We have to do something with it. We can do things with it. We can brew beer out of it. And of course, that's a bit of a joke. But we can also do many other things with that water. Don't throw it into the waste. And we organized the Dutch Championships of tile flipping. And that's actually what I'm here for. So I'm going to take you a little bit into the last 5 years of experience that we have when it comes to depaving. But I'll show you a short case movie first. And this is subtitled in English.
Wat begon met 2 gemeenten groeide uit tot een landelijk kampioenschap waarin 2/3 van alle Nederlandse gemeenten strijdt om een gouden schep of de gouden tegel. Het weer in ons land wordt steeds extremer. Heftige regenbuien en lange periodes van droogte en hitte komen steeds vaker voor. Meer groen zorgt dat we dit aankunnen. Dus wipten we er de afgelopen jaren samen op los. Maar liefst 14 miljoen tegels maakten plaats voor groen. Dat is ruim 130 hectare, oftewel 260 voetbalvelden.
Nieuw wiprecord.
Naast gemeenten kan iedereen meedoen door tegels in zijn eigen tuin te vervangen door planten. Wippen is natuurlijk belangrijker dan winnen. Maar geen wedstrijd zonder prijzen, want prijzen zorgen voor positieve aandacht. Naast de gouden schep en gouden tegels zijn er wippers van de maand. Zij winnen mooie prijzenpakketten en gemeenten strijden onderling ook voor derby en pool awards.
So that's actually what you do. Together with... Thank you. Dankeschön. Together with about 17 million Dutch people and some people in Flanders now as well, we try to depave the Netherlands and Belgium. But we're not doing that only by ourselves. We need a lot of people to do that. But why are we doing that? Well, this is actually something that you guys here know, so I don't have to tell much about this. But of course, when there's more tiles, there will be more problems. Because tiles, I have to say, because some people question that, but a tile in Holland is a 30 by 30 square centimeter piece of concrete. And we use that everywhere, in our gardens, in public space, everywhere. So that's why we always talk about tiles. So the tile is a 30 by 30 square centimeter piece of concrete. But it's of course super hard. So water doesn't go into the ground. So when it comes to water retention, we have a problem. And of course, it gets really hot. Well, it's 21 degrees now. It's the beginning of March. We'd better enjoy it, but it's a bit weird. So it's getting hotter and hotter in our cities as well. So we need to take out those tiles. We need to take out that pavement just to make it also a little bit hot in the cities. And of course, when it comes to biodiversity, insects don't like tiles. They like green much, much more. So we started out 2020. Of course, this was the beginning of COVID, as many of you will remember. We had that little rain bar. We did those events on rooftops. So it was all a little bit event-driven, what we were doing. And we were telling the story about climate adaptation when it comes to rooftops or when it comes to water. But of course, COVID. So no events. Super small events. Guided tours on top of rooftops, but super small. No rain bar. The rain bar was supposed to go to Rotterdam, Amsterdam, to different events and stuff to tell that story about rainwater and beer. But of course, there were no events. So we thought, okay, everybody's sitting at home. Everybody was already sitting in the garden. It was a super nice summer, the first year of COVID. People were in their garden already working. There was a little run into the garden shops in Holland. And we thought, okay, maybe with Amsterdam and Rotterdam, and there's no soccer, nothing, we can try to motivate Amsterdammers and Rotterdammers to think together with us a new game. And we call it tile flipping, tegelwippen. So we're going to encourage people to take out the tiles out of the garden, where they are anyway, send them in to us with a picture, and just give them the amount of tiles that they took out of their garden. And we're going to calculate what city at the end of the summer took out the most tiles. That was the idea. So here you can see the alderman back in 2020 from Amsterdam. He's wearing a scarf from Ajax because it was all a little bit referred to soccer games. And there's the alderman in Rotterdam because they really like the idea. Because, of course, they also have to tell the story about climate adaptation, and they also have to try to motivate people to get their gardens greener because we need all that space. So it was sort of an alternative for football. So the idea is that municipalities, they compete against each other. Which municipality takes out the most tiles? So by now, we are not with two municipalities anymore, so it's not only Amsterdam and Rotterdam, but we've been growing over the last 5 years. What we do is we flip tiles for 7 months, so that's the whole summer. And everybody in Holland, whether your municipality is joining or not, can participate. So it doesn't matter where you live, just send in your pictures and we calculate. We have the national tile pile, so we just calculate how many tiles are removed out of the Netherlands at the end of the summer. And it's super easy. You just go to the website, you just register it, we try to make it as simple as possible. You just register it, tell us where you live, and you send in a picture of what you did in your garden, and we calculate what city or what municipality, and also the national tile pile you see there. We calculate how many tiles are removed out of each city, and it's all, well, as you can see, with ranks. So there's big cities, there's small cities, there's middle cities, there's tiles per inhabitant, as we try to do it relatively by now. This of course was not the case the first year that we did this, but this was what it turned into after 4 years of tile flipping. yeah, I said before, almost 50 million tiles were removed out of the Netherlands alone. It's not only the Netherlands by now, so we're also working in Flanders, so it's a couple of million more. And of course, we didn't do that, right? It was all the people in the garden that did this. And that's about 360 soccer fields alone in only Holland. And of course, it is what you call a citizen empowerment campaign. So we really try to make those people go into their gardens and take out those tiles, make their hands dirty, and start working and make Holland greener. But of course, it's also an awareness campaign. We really try to make people understand that the tile is not a good idea. Pavement is not a good idea. And therefore, we need a lot of attention. And therefore, when it comes to a championship, you've got prizes. So we've got as much prizes as possible. Actually, everybody wins a prize. I mean, even if you take out one tile, you're already a winner. So for us, everybody's a winner. So we've got golden tiles, we've got golden shovels, we've got golden mini tiles, we've got golden water hoisters, we've got whatever. We've got every month, we've got the flipper of the month. So because when you hand out a prize, people will tell about it. If you win the golden tile, as a municipality, apparently, you're happy. You're gonna tell with a press release to your local newspaper that you've won the prize, or maybe you were the second or the third. I don't care. So we've got all derbies, we've got all sorts of pools where also municipalities could compete against each other. And this brings us, a lot of attention. And by now also internationally. We've been on the BBC, there was an article in The Guardian. So we've been around on many TV shows in the Netherlands and on the radio, but also a lot locally. Because we also hand out those press kits, so people can use those press kits. And of course, we also really like fan content. There's a lot of fan content. There's a lot of people in Holland that actually really like the idea. This guy is an alderman in the south of Holland. He made, I'm not going to show you, but he made a rap about tile flipping to encourage and motivate people in his own municipality to start flipping. This is a carnival wagon. There are songs being made about tile flipping. I don't know why this movie is not working, but there are schools with children that are singing songs on the schoolyard about tile flipping. So we have to do this together. You never flip alone. So we really try to encourage all those municipalities. And we have flip kits, but they can order. There's about 60 or 70 municipalities in the Netherlands right now that are doing tile taxi. It's a tile service. It started in Amsterdam the first year that we did the tile flipping. It was only Amsterdam versus Rotterdam. But Amsterdam was behind, and they really wanted to win. So the aldermen in the council were questioned. Okay, what city is winning? What city is winning? Well, who has the most tiles? What's the latest tile pile? Blah blah blah. And okay, so we're losing. We have to think of something. So they came up with the idea of a tile service, sort of a tile taxi. So it drives around because tiles are heavy. So what are you going to do with all that tiles? So Amsterdam was going to collect them. Now there's about 60 to 70 municipalities in the Netherlands that are actually collecting the tiles every now and then. There was a super nice football grass action in Rotterdam. I don't know if you guys know Feyenoord. It's one of the biggest teams in the Netherlands. You've got Ajax, Amsterdam, Feyenoord, Rotterdam. You were able to hand in a tile. Of course, you had to register the tile on our website. And then you were able, it got so popular, it was a lottery in the end. But you could bring your tile to the stadium and get a piece of the holy grass out of the stadium. That apparently needs to be redone every 2 years anyway. So that of course, I mean, that brings an audience. You tell the story to an audience that if you tell the story about biodiversity or water retention or climate adaptation, I mean, there are so many reasons, as we all know. It's even a green garden makes you a happier person. It's scientifically proven this. It makes you healthier. That should be enough. But in this case, people want to win something. They want to win that 30 by 30 square centimeter piece of grass out of the holy stadium. But they have to go to our website. And of course, we try to inspire them. And of course, we tell the story about that they have to plant, that and we try to also motivate them to not just do one tile, but also take out more. There's been swap your tiles. There was a big thing with win a green street. So as many competitors or as many people in the street as possible, the street with the most won a green street. And we're also now really motivating people within the municipality, so the people that work for the municipality, to also think differently. So they also send in a lot of tiles in public space. And over the last year, we just started the 21st of March, and we're a bit behind, but we have our first real international. It's Flanders against Holland. So we have to defeat the Belgium. So also for me, I look every day. Okay, who's winning? Who's before? And that works really well. So the whole competition thing, that really works for people. This is the last start movie that we made. A competition without borders.
Gouden gieter.
Who's gonna win the golden thing? Flanders. Holland.
En we zijn begonnen. In deze steengoede wedstrijd wint Nederland tegen Vlaanderen. Wie wipt de meeste tegels en vervangt ze door groen? De eerste tegels vliegen eruit.
The first tiles are going out. Plants are going in.
Wip jij ook mee?
Will you be a part of
Geef je
this?
tegels op van 21 maart tot en met 31 oktober via de website.
Thank you. But of course, flipping is more important than winning, as said before. But still, we are hoping and we are dreaming. I mean, now it's Holland, Flanders, it's Holland, Belgium. But it would be so nice to have a real European championship. And I think it's really necessary. So I really motivate you guys. Try to find a way to make this happen here in Germany as well. We really want to be part of it. And let's hope for European championships in 2026. Dank u zeer.